like everything about it. I love the freaking rotor. I love the sprocket. I love it all. That bike looks perfect. There's some bikes that are like 90% dialed in to my eye. That bike is totally dialed in. I love it.
Thank you. This is Jason. He is CEO of Warp 9.
That is correct.
We are in Salt Lake City, Utah. I drove down from Idaho today just to talk about Warp 9 and to clear your name.
Excellent.
That's why we're here.
Sounds good. Let's clear it.
Let's clear it. You're watching the Nutnfancy project. This is the TMP KTM 500 EXC. It is a 10 out of 10. It saw a hard year of use in 2013 in the desert. There are several videos out showing that use, like the Wild Mustang ride, on and on it went. However, Jason, last time the viewers saw this bike, it was
on a heap on the side of the road.
It was on the side of the road, and I almost got killed on it.
Yep, I remember. That was a bad day for me, my friend, as well. Did not like seeing that.
I want to thank you first off, and Jason did not ask for this. He didn't even know I was going to come and do a media piece with him, but I called Jason up personally, probably around February timeframe. I told him what had happened. I said, hey, I think my mechanic put the front rotor on wrong. It locked up. I got thrown off the bike. It's a serious thing. Is there a way I can buy the components from you? And I was impressed that immediately you were on it. You're like, you know what? You're not buying them. We'll just hook you up with them. Come by the shop and let's make the bike right.
Absolutely. Customers for life, man. We ride ourselves too. And we just believe, you know, you treat people the way that you'd want to be treated. And then everybody will be happy for a long, long time. And I'm super happy that you're okay. I'm super happy that your bike looks terrific today.
Thank you.
And it really does. It's a showpiece for yourself and for Warp 9. I love it.
Yeah. So let me just summarize what we did. So awesome customer service from Warp 9. Maybe not so awesome customer service from KTM. This fork was damaged in the wreck. And just by way of summary, this piece right here by the mechanic was not put on correctly. It just happened, you know, he didn't catch it, I didn't catch it. I applied the brakes at about 45 miles an hour. The rotor locks up, I go high siding, spilling onto the pavement. Go watch that video, all that details there. I was really lucky to have walked away from that because of all the protective stuff I wear. That's the summary. Jason gave me this part again, and
your adapter bracket.
This is the adapter bracket here, right?
Adapter bracket, a new rotor. Yeah, to put it all back together.
That's right.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing that I want everybody to know is this is something that does not happen normally. What happened to you is a freak thing, and it just flat out was not installed correctly the first time around. I mean, if everybody ate crap the first time they rode their Super Moto wheels, I assure you we would not be here. As a matter of fact, people probably won't believe it, but this is the first time we've ever had someone eat it due to a part coming off.
It's not your product. It's just the installation problem.
Absolutely. The guy did not install it correctly. So.
Now, the mechanic, who I'm not going to say his name because I really like the guy, he made a mistake, and lucky for him, or lucky for everyone actually, he totally admitted he screwed up. So that made it so we could all work together.
Absolutely.
And because he's like, I screwed up, and he made it right. This is his installation, and you can see it's done right now. Look at the safety wiring.
Yeah, it's... Don't get me wrong, it's done right. It is overkill now. It is never coming off.
It's never coming off.
Yeah, it's never coming off.
He did it right. So yeah. I'm okay. And what I was going to tell you about KTM, this part right here actually this bolt right here cracked out of the magnesium housing, but it is epoxy to this fork tube. So it took us from now, it is July, and the accident happened in February. It took that long to get the part from KTM. Yeah, months and months, so I was not impressed with that, and it was expensive getting all the parts. Again, about $1,000 just for the damage to the bike and the wreck. Again, not Warp 9's problem, but I'm making this video to clear their name, tell the world what awesome products they have. For instance, look at the wheels. This is a Warp 9 wheel, custom coloration, and if you guys aren't.
Orange anodized hubs.
Orange anodized hub, yeah.
Powder coated black spokes with color matching orange anodized aluminum nipples that are not cast, they're CNC machine billet. That's the only way that you're going to be able to get them to match the hub, is if they're a CNC machine billet. If you notice an OEM motorcycle wheel, if they have aluminum nipples, they're cast. They're cast wheels, or cast nipples instead of CNC machined.
Look at how wicked that looks, man. The orange and black combination with a bike
ties
really
everything together.
Works good.
Yeah.
Now I'll do a full review on this. I'm not doing it now. This is a dirt bike. Now it's been transformed to a motard conversion. And Jason, can you tell the guys, perhaps viewers that don't know what a motard conversion is?
Yeah, you're taking a dirt bike basically and turning it into a street bike. So a typical street bike, for example, a CBR 600 or something like that, will run a 17-inch wheel system. So we run 17 front and rear. Your bike, I believe, you have the 17 4.25 or the 5.0 in the rear?
I think it's the 5.0 in the rear.
5.0 in the rear. So some big bikes like the 500 EXC, you can get away with a 17 by 5.0 in the rear, which allows you to run like a 160 or a 170 rear tire. More common on some of the CRFs, etc., is a 17 by 4.25, which lets you run.
I forget, that may be a 4 1/4. I forget.
It might. Both of them are huge and both of them do the trick. But this allows you to totally convert your dirt bike into a street bike. You can ride it to work Monday through Friday, still ride your dirt bike on the trails or the track or wherever it is that you ride your bike on the weekends. Your tire selection is huge for the street because you have the same tire selection as a bullet bike does, or a lot of different street bikes have. So your tire selection's huge. The durability and wearability for your tires is much better. It runs so much smoother on the street because we upgrade to a 320 millimeter rotor. Your braking capacity is so much improved because you can actually put all of your braking power to the road on the street with these tires. So because of that, right, you really need a bigger, better rotor to really utilize the grip that street provides.
I was getting about 800 miles out of a good set of knobby desert tires.
Knobby desert tires.
Before they're worn to where I'm losing traction.
You should be able to go 3,000 to 5,000 without breaking a sweat.
Yeah, these are Avon Distancias. They're like 80% street, 20% off-road. That's why they have the blocks on it. The street conversion is so nice because you get so much more use out of the bike. Absolutely.
And with modern 4-strokes, they lay the smack down so hard that really, truly, you take your 500 EXC and you turn it into a Corvette killer. They're really fun. They're really fun. Yeah.
And the look on their face, Jason, is priceless.
It's priceless. I agree. Absolutely.
I've watched some guys on this bike and they're just shaking their head because one, they don't see it. How many motards do you see running around?
That's right. And I mean, kids climbing over the back seats of minivans going, "Hey, that's just like Dad's dirt bike. What's it doing on State Street?" No, it's
or on the interstate.
Or on the interstate. Absolutely. It's a hoot.
This thing will put down 103 miles an hour with current gearing. It's a lightweight bike. It is somewhat higher maintenance intervals, i.e. you got to change the oil about every 700 miles or so. But that's the price for having a race engine and a freaking 245-pound dirt bike.
Absolutely. Worth it. And you already have a sweet dirt bike. Why not for an extra $1,000, $1,500 make it into an absolutely wicked street bike as well? It just makes sense.
Another thing I love about Warp 9 is you don't rip people off. Your products are actually affordable. There's some motard conversions out there that run $2,000, $3,000?
Yeah, our motard conversion here that you're looking at is about $900 without the tires, and then it just depends on what tires you select. So you're usually into them about $1,200. There's a lot of motard conversion kits that, number one, don't come with all the hardware, i.e. the brake rotors, the adapter brackets, the sprocket, etc. So you might think that you're getting a pretty good deal, but once you go equip it with your sprockets, your rotors, your adapter brackets, you're looking at an additional $400 or more. So we try to put the top of line gear on it for you straight out of the shop because you're going to need it anyhow. So why not get it and run it? We stand behind our product for life, and it's great. Like you said, there's a lot of, and I won't mention names either, but a lot of competitors that this same wheel setup would be $2,000, $2,500 without tires. And we're riders and we want to make it awesome and affordable for the end consumer.
I think you've achieved your objective, Jace. I'm a fan. My son Tactical Doodle turned me on to your products. He's like, hey, you got to look at Warp 9. We'll get a lot more use out of that bike. as before, because before it had dirt tires on, so I would drive literally 100 miles to get to my location.
Sure.
And it's just money. I mean, those tires are so expensive.
Yeah, and isn't it fun? If you're not going to do a hardcore off-road ride, should you be able to jump on straight from your house?
Right.
And just take off. It's no trailer, no tie downs. It's totally changes your world. I agree.
With this setup, this bike is going to start racking the miles.
Absolutely.
And I'm just, stay tuned to the Nutnfancy project. I'll give you a rundown on the KTM 500 EXC with a Warp 9 conversion and let you know how it does. I suspect really good things. I'll talk about all the mods in a separate video. Worth the money. Very cool product. Outstanding customer service. Thank you, Jason.
Excellent. Thank you.
That's Warp 9 Salt Lake City. That is the TMP KTM 500 EXC. See you later.